Hello and welcome back to the Son of the Morning Comics channel for yet another comic review. What we're looking at this time is X-Men plus Fantastic Four number 3 by Chip Zdarsky. Really loving this series so far, mostly because it's pointing out, well, the FF are pointing out that the X-Men are kind of evil, which is sort of my theory that that's what Hickman's been up to with the X-Men. But same like the other issues, really cool cover. It's similar cover art to the other two. I like it, no complaints there. So in the last issue, basically, you know, we had Franklin Richards and Valeria stow away in Kitty Pryde's ship, which was then captured by Dr. Doom and taken to Dr. Doom's secret island. The FF figured out where they were, and they took off in the Fantastic Car to go claim their children, and the X-Men pursued, and that's where we are here, where the X-Men are pursuing the Fantastic Four. You can see they're there in the Fantastic Car. I like Ben's little thing here that he says, those ex creeps sure ain't talking kindly sure aren't taking kindly to our little visit. So I like Ben Grimm humor. It's cheesy and fun. But so they're trying to get to their children, but the X-Men shoot them down. Not exactly the most unevil thing to do, to shoot down, you know, a group of heroes, but they did. But luckily, one of those heroes is Sue Storm, and she can create force fields, and she gently places them down on the ground. Of course, the X-Men arrive shortly after, and see, I'm wondering, is Chip Zdarsky, is he trolling Jonathan Hickman? Like, because from the other X books that I've read, Wolverine seems to be a pretty good guy, and so does Nightcrawler. But in this issue here, or especially in this little scene here, you have Wolverine acting quite evil, where he sort of surprising Johnny Storm with an attack. Not so much fun there. And here you can see that, you know, they're exclaiming, "Our kids," and then Wolverine's responses are about to be orphans. Like, what? So, yeah, Wolverine's definitely evil in this moment, but like I said, this might just be Chip Zdarsky trolling Jonathan Hickman and his evil X-Men thing, but what do I know? Whatever the case may be, Sue uses a force field to fling Wolverine away, and you know, there's on the ship here we have the White Queen and Professor X, who are both telepaths, but they, you know, these helmets protect the FF from that, but unfortunately Johnny Storm's helmet starts to leak a little bit, which then allows them into his brain, and here you can see her saying, but it seems like your brother's helmet has a leak now. So let's first bring you to Krakoa for espionage and illegal entry trial. They came looking for their missing children, and you want to put them on trial for espionage. Not evil at all. Not something unexpected from her, but no reaction from Charles. He doesn't seem to have any problem with that. Alright, Krakoa has been invaded. Yeah, okay. So anyway, similar to the other X-Men books, this is, you know, our cast of characters for the issue, and This is definitely a star-studded issue. We've got Kitty Pryde, Storm, Professor X, Logan, Magneto, Cyclops, the Beast, Emma Frost, Nightcrawler, Rogue, and on, of course, the Fantastic Four side, Reed Richards, Sue, Johnny Storm, The Thing, and of course Franklin and Valeria Richards, their children. So they didn't realize it at the time that they have landed on Doom Island, but they're on Doom Island, and of course, you know, Doom isn't always gonna be very nice to Reed Richards, and Reed Richards is surprised to see him. Wants to know where the children are, and of course Magneto wants to know where his X-Men are. It's just funny too. I like here how you know, Dr. Doom saying to Magneto, he's like, I can feel you trying to manipulate my armor, but he's like, you think I'm stupid? You think I don't know who you are? You think I don't know what's gonna happen? If I'm full of metal? At any rate, we'll keep moving along here. So then Kitty Pryde comes out and says that she made a deal that she considers to be a fair deal, which is kind of funny. The deal being that Franklin Richards, Dr. Doom will repower and then fully realize the ultimate power of Franklin Richards for him, but the mutants on Doom Island will remain there. Now, of course, this is not going to go over well with people like Magneto, you know, what Doom wants is to basically restore the greatest mutant to his glory. Sue's worried about him, obviously being the mother, but you know, as we know, for some reason Doom has this affinity for Franklin and Valeria, so he doesn't want to hurt the kid. But he does, you know, obviously have to take the shot. He said he wants to help the kid. He wants to do what what the father could not. Just another shot at Reed, any chance he gets. So obviously, like I said, Magneto is not pleased with Kitty Pryde for making this deal, that she wasn't authorized to make the deal, and that they need to be worried about finding and rescuing the mutants that are on this island. Then coming off of the ship, the X ship, Professor Xavier says that Kitty Pryde made the right call. I love Sue's response is that she had no right. Reed says our son isn't some sort of bargaining chip, and then Doom interrupts. He's his own man, and he's missing a piece, and he's missing a piece that you can't give back to him. You know, he wants to give it back to him. And then so Doom says to the whole group, X-Men and Fantastic Four, you know, you stay here, you're not permitted to enter the island's town, just stay here and wait. The majority, you know, you'll be comfortable here. This island is Latveria, so it's his law. Says it right there. And so here we have Franklin and Valeria. They're just talking about this experiment that they're gonna try, that, you know, they want to do it, but he's a little worried. She says, you know, Uncle Doomy's never gonna do anything that would hurt you type thing. And they basically decide that they are going to go through with this, but it's not going to happen just on Dr. Doom's terms. It's Reed Richards and Hank the Beast, Hank McCoy, are going to go over all of the science, go with a fine-tooth comb, make sure everything is perfect so that nothing bad is gonna happen to Franklin Richards. So then over here we have the Wolverine talking to Storm, and he's saying that he doesn't like the situation that's going on. Storm, tells him that there's nothing to like about it, and that, there's mutants there, and they're there against their will, and they need to get them out. And then Emma Frost says she has no doubt that there is lots of them, but her telepathic abilities are a little bit clouded. And Cyclops says that they'll deal with he thinks they should deal with the mutants after Franklin has been helped. Magneto, of course, being Magneto, this is unacceptable to him. The boy is power, he says, and I understand the need for power, but not at the expense of our other fellow brothers. And Wolverine says he agrees, which, like I said, this is out of character for Wolverine lately. And then, they say here the professor made the call, so that's how they're gonna do it. Magneto interjects that it was Kitty Pryde that made the call, and then, Cyclops says he backed her on it. We help Franklin, and then we help the other mutants. And Kitty Pryde is, she says, for a captain, you're not very schooled on the art of war type thing. That, Doom, she knows Doom's up to no good, basically, is what she's saying there. And so here we got the Thing, and we've got Sue Storm, and now they want to save the mutants, and they realize that the only way to do that is going to enlist the help of somebody who can help make them invisible, that of course being Sue. So they approach her about that, and that's sort of what happens. They do that. We'll get there. But so this here is Reed and Beast and Doom going over all of the science. Basically, what he's saying here is Doom saying that, Hank says, if these schematics are any indication, you don't think they're being generated by us, but rather something else. He's referring to, like, the powers. They aren't generating the powers. The powers are generating from somewhere else, whether they were a mutant or like an enhanced person like Captain America. The power actually comes from somewhere else. Doom says that it travels through conduits within the mitochondria. One would presume from another dimension, an unlimited power source. And he says that there's this doctor working on finding this source, and Doom, of course, calls this power particles Von Doom particles. Of course he does. And then Charles says Victor. Doom says Charles. Charles says, what are you doing? And he says, doing. Latveria has not, and he's basically asking him about why Latveria hasn't, signed the accord to receive aid and super magic flower power from Krakoa. And Doom basically goes about saying, like, it's not that I don't recognize you. I recognize you, but I'm not pandering to you for your flowers type thing. I really like the way Doom is sort of holding his own there. Here we got some of the townspeople, and you can see that Sue hiding them to get past there, where they find some mutants who are, of course, frightened. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do anything that is going to upset Dr. Doom because he's evil. And so Magneto promises that he's never gonna let anything bad happen to them. Unfortunately, an entire swarm of Doombots come through the window. Sue says she's used to dealing with this. Now one of them grabs Wolverine and sort of blasts off. Now back over here where they're going over the science still. Reed doesn't like it. He's not for it, but he says, you know what? It's your choice. You're a man. You need to make your own choice, and he's gonna support it either way. Franklin decides that it's something that he needs to do. So then, once Wolverine comes crashing to the ground, he is shocked to find that there is blood on his blades. And here we can see the experiment starting with Franklin. And you can see Doom here. And he says, greatness is cursed with enemies. Young Kate, my history speaks to that. Of people attacking me and my citizens unjustly. For example, and then he's talking about this, it appears your fellow mutants disobeyed my request. Not only that, they murdered a Latverian. Unconscionable, unjustifiable, unforgivable. So now we've got some problems. Because Wolverine is now a murderer, and he has murdered somebody on foreign soil, and that is problematic. So, you know, hopefully we'll get this in April. We'll see. You never know what's happening right now. But, yeah, so I had Wolverine on my not evil list, but he was sure evil in this book, but I'm gonna go with Chip Zdarsky trolling Jonathan Hickman as the reason for that. In terms of the other X-Men or mutants that we saw here today, I don't know that any of them outside of Kitty Pryde showed that they weren't evil. Yeah, that's about it. At any rate, thank you for joining me on this video. If you like this content, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, the notification bell, all that good stuff. Leave some comments if you want. Come visit me over on Twitter at sonofthemorning7 and have yourself a wonderful day.